Previously on Sailing Latitude, after 3 weeks at Lord Howe Island, including 2 weeks of heavy winds, we were finally on our way to New Caledonia.
That's the least amount of preparation we ever done for a departure. Oh my god.
Normally Mari cooks up a huge big pot of food that's ready to go, like a big roast in there, a couple of kilos of meat in the pot. Normally we've got sail plans ready, waypoints put in, but we saw a little window and we just decided to go for it, and we hope that that was the right decision. The seas are quite lumpy and all over the place, but basically coming out into the back end of a storm, and now we're having lunch straight out of the pot.
We were so focused on getting out of the lagoon that this was the first time we had a moment to evaluate our situation. So this was it.
Seas were big, 4 to 5 metres, and after 2 weeks of gale force winds, the waves were a mess. Winds were steady, around 30 knots, gusts were in the 40s. We were running about half the head sail, no main at all, and still we were going pretty quick, 10 to 13 knots. Which is just as well. We are here at Lord Howe Island, and we need to cross more than 700 nautical miles of open ocean to get here, New Caledonia. Just the two of us.
The wave angle was making the boat roll a lot. So in between hand steering, we tried to find an angle the autopilot could handle for the nighttime.
It's rolling out here.
The first night was a long night. At one point, a heavy gust blew the main sheet out of its bag. We constantly trimmed the head sail and changed our angle, and meanwhile the boat got turned inside out.
Look at this. Not everything is surviving the crossing.
Said it's alright. Seen some things in our lives. We've had some long and sorrow roads. That's how I know it's alright to cry. Go on and ease the heavy load. Pray hard, walk tall, do right.
So we've been dealing with 5-meter swells for 2 days. 35 plus, 30 plus knots for 2 days. The maximum amount of sail we had for the first 2 days was actually half the head sail. That's it, for 2 full days. So today is the 3rd day. We have the main on the second reef and just a little bit of head sail because we've been getting lots of squalls. And you know, just to lift the mood in this boat, we decided to have a special lunch. So the chef is preparing a treat.
Scotch fillet steak.
Yeah, some steaks.
Black Angus Scotch fillet steak. Now that is the kind of boat food you want. Oh, that steak was good. It's the small things that lift the mood on any crossing. An unexpected cup of tea, cold beer at sunset, giant steaks. Dolphins, whales, whatever.
At least it was a distraction from the nasty squalls like this one. They were a constant reminder to stay alert for the wind. And also giant cargo ships with captains clearly asleep at the wheel.
I have been awake for about 2 days now, 2.5 days. And looking forward to the seaway cleaning up. We are running the shifts. I'm trying to just hang in as long as I can from 8 p.m. till 2 or 3 a.m. and then Mari takes over and then I try and grab some sleep after that.
Lord, I know that you are there. I feel them burning in my bones.
Day 4 and we cut Latitude loose. The seaway had cleaned up a little bit. Wind down to a tasty 15 to 20 knots on the beam. We were blazing a path to New Caledonia.
Everybody needs a little sun in their life. Shine down. The shepherd and his angels got our life. Go on, joy comes early morn. Ways of the man will sure subside. Ain't walk away, cause here come love.
But now we had a different problem.
I was again seasick. It was really bad. I was on the constant verge of throwing up, and to stop it, I had to be outside or lying down. I felt terrible.
I feel a burning in my bones. Free us from this lion's den and take us home. Everybody needs love in their life. Everybody needs love.
It's 8:30 in the morning and I just finished my shift. Denham has been doing until 2 a.m. and I take over from them. So I'm just having a nap now, just for an hour. So I haven't been feeling too well. I actually feel pretty bad that I haven't been able to do the things that I would normally do to help Denham, like cooking and keeping the ship going. So I haven't been functioning 100%, and I feel pretty bad because Denham is having to do everything. He needs to even cook his own food. No, I'm pretty sure he's alright, but that's, we're not sharing half. It's a shame.
Turn your back, you're a broken man. They come around and just dying to shake your head. Don't expect you to understand. Just keep telling yourself there's no shame.
I'm going to give you a little look at what we've been dicing with over the last couple of days. At least it's during the day you can see them. These are squalls that pass through. It's not too bad, but you might go from 15 knots all of a sudden to 25s, 28s, something near the 30s, and then all of a sudden things get really rough. Anyway, have a look. This is what you can see on the horizon. There's a couple coming.
You wanna prove you're the better man. You wanna reach for the things that nobody can. All you need is to break away, yeah. Keep telling yourself there's no shame. They don't know who we are.
Just say how incredibly proud I am of my wife. She's such a little thing, but she's a f***ing lioness. To go through what we've been through and still be battling on. She's been suffering seasickness the last 3 days, still getting up for a 2 a.m. shift. I get up this morning, she's had a night battling squalls, sails up, sails down, engine on, 20 knots, and 10 knots, and 8 knots. Which is just a nightmare at night time when you can't see anything, and she dealt with it all by herself. I get up this morning and there's a piece of banana bread waiting for me. What a choice of life partner, honestly. Shit. Today was also a shower day. We have a shower inside, but it's hard to stand upright in a moving boat. So we went out for an icy outside blast.
Smelling good. Don't say I don't know how to give a girl a good time.
At least the cold water took my mind off feeling sick.
My little potion, my sweet concoction, I consume the fumes and stay close to you. Yeah, take me higher, fulfill desires, we'll make our own world in this room.
We've got a stowaway on board. Jesus, look at the size of that thing. Illegal stowaway. Alright buddy, back to the ocean you go.
After 5 full days of sailing, it finally loomed in the distance, hazy but unmistakable.
Do you see something out there?
Oh my god, I just see land.
You see land?
I see land.
You are you're my perfect day. Perfect day. Perfect day.
It's a ceremonial event. But this is your big moment. That's what you've been training for. The flag bearer.
I was so excited for this. Putting up the yellow flag is a maritime requirement when entering another country, and this was our first.
We got to the reef at Dumbaya Pass and dropped sails for the entry.
What a day to be arriving in New Caledonia. We are about to punch through the reef and into safe harbour. Oh, so stoked. And I see surf to welcome us in.
Said these are the hot times. You're my perfect time.
There's breakers everywhere, as far as your eye can see. Entry to the harbour in New Caledonia, and to your left, some big waves.
We just came through the reef here at New Caledonia. We're now in safe harbour.
We made it!
We made it.
5 days!
Port Murcell control, Port Murcell control, Port Murcell control. This is sailing vessel latitude, 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 over.
After a rough and stormy 5 days, the giant calm lagoon surrounding southern New Caledonia was pure heaven. And it was hot!
What's happening here?
I'm so happy. I'm taking my pants off. Oh my god, I've been wearing 2 layers, 2 pants, like 4 jackets for the last 5.5 days. Actually 5 days.
And now?
Oh my god, I can't wait to put bikinis on. I made it! With not even one vomit! We made our way to the port of entry, parked Latitude,
Go and do the check-in.
and had our boat search for contraband. That's you.
The diplomatic incident was narrowly avoided when they allowed us to keep our steak. Instead, they took plants, seeds and eggs, no arguments there, and with that we were in. New Caledonia was ours to explore.
Check. 1, 2. 1, 2. We hope our videos will inspire you to chase your own dreams and adventures. If you liked ours, please hit subscribe. Bons ventos. Good winds.